Yo, what's going on? Chavo Guerrero Jr. here, giving a big shout out to Wrestling Rehab. Keep watching, keep listening, and viva la raza.
Órale. All right, man. So we are a week away from WrestleMania, right? Showcase of the Immortals, baby. And before we do that, we got the Hall of Fame to get into. Now, I want to make it clear disclaimer. This is not the real Hall of Fame. See, the real Hall of Fame is the Wrestling Rehab Hall of Fame, not this other Hall of Fame. Okay, let's go ahead and let's break down that fake Hall of Fame with my boy, Mr. RKO Pablo. Pablo.
Yo, 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 you can hear me?
I got you, big dog. I got you.
Bear
What
with
is
me for a
going on?
second. I'm just fixing my audio, man. Something's off.
Oh, no, man. I could sing a tune for a second or two. But as I'm telling everybody.
How about now?
Yeah, I got you, brother. We got you. We hear you. The reason why I say this is a fake, or I don't know. Fake. Yeah, we got you, Paul. We can hear you. We're good. We got you. Unless it's Pablo that can't hear us. That I don't know. But the reason why I'm telling everybody that this is, maybe I shouldn't say fake, but I should say a complete watered down Hall of Fame is because of the people that are in there. You know, some of the talent that has gone in there where it's like, gosh, man, is that really Hall of Fame material? Hey, Pablo, you there?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we're good. So that's why I started the Wrestling Rehab Hall of Fame, because those actually have real Hall of Famers that should be known as Hall of Famers. But Pablo, before we get into the individuals, right? What do you think about the WWE Hall of Fame as, you know, the entirety of it?
As the entirety?
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
just this year?
Yeah. Well, not just this year. That's everything.
Everything. It's kind of like I'm not too happy with it, bro. Since TKO took over, it's been kind of like you said, watered down. And this year is just proof. You know, there's a lot of nepotism. There's a lot of people getting in who shouldn't get in, and we're back to the Coco Beware days. You know, there's too many of those going on. So, but overall, it's cool. But we do need a brick and mortar, so that would be nice.
Let me throw this at you, Pablo. Is it because of the TKO? Because I mean, I think even before then, I was just kind of like, wait a second, I don't know. Now, I don't remember the exact cutoff of when TKO took over and what class was right before that. Just going off of the top of my head, I always kind of felt certain individuals, it's gotten worse. I will tell you that it's gotten worse. But I always felt that there was an individual or two where I was just kind of like, I don't know about that. But
Yeah.
Do you think it's just the TKO?
You know what? That's what my only thoughts, bro. That because man, every year there was a master class of somebody getting inducted. The last one I remember and it wasn't the whole show, but the last one that was awesome to me anyway was Triple H when he got inducted. You know, that's kind of the highlight, bro. But have we had anything like that in the last 2 years? You know, I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. I'm not that upset with this year's inductees, man. But let's go ahead and let's go. Well, before we get into them individually, how happy are you with this year's overall?
Not very happy at all. I mean, AJ Styles, man, come on. Who isn't happy with that? But let's be real. He's not the most exciting person.
Okay.
You know?
Okay. So, but overall, Pablo, this class, if you had to rate it overall altogether, you happy with it on a meter? Where do you scale it at?
4
out of 10?
out of 10.
Oh no,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
No, Pablo. No. Okay, let's go ahead and let's get into it because I want to hear what you have to say. All
For
right.
sure.
Okay. For one, let's go ahead and get the clown completely out the way. All right. Dennis Rodman. Okay. He's getting inducted as the Celebrity Hall of Fame. I don't think he ever did any work with the WWE, but of course, WWE ended up buying out WCW. He did some work over there. Pablo, what's your thoughts about him going into the Hall of Fame? And then also, Pablo, on top of that, what's your thoughts about the celebrity section of the Hall of Fame? Should it exist? Should it not exist?
I mean, at this point, what are you gonna do? Hey, at least Pete Rose got his, huh? That's what I'll say. But Dennis Rodman, he wasn't no big factor. I mean, there was guys who did more than him in the WWE. I mean, going all the way back to your favorite Liberace, to Mike Tyson, and they're all in there. I mean, those are fine to me. I don't mind. I don't mind it as long as they don't get ridiculous, and start putting in, I don't know, Justin Bieber or something like that.
Is it starting to get a little ridiculous to you? Can you go back and see one of the celebrities where it's like, come on, get this clown out of here? I mean, it is the celebrity section of the Hall of Fame. Like you said, you don't mind it as long as it doesn't get too ridiculous. Has it some years gotten too ridiculous where you're like, come on, really?
Well, this might be one.
Okay.
This might be one because I don't remember Dennis doing anything great. It stands out. Like me and you, dude, I know you and we watch a lot of wrestling podcasts and shows, and we keep up with the news. I never hear no one bringing up no Dennis Rodman stories, So I think that says something right there.
Yeah, I mean, he was just kind of there with the NWO, right? I think I would say when it comes to the Hall of Fame, man, when it comes to him, I think when he gets mentioned, everybody mentions the big botch where he's slapping and he's not even making contact. He's like a good 6 inches away from the face. I think that's the only time I hear him get mentioned. I didn't really watch too much WCW. I used to tune in here and there. So that's one of the only things I really saw of him. I don't know how many times he was on the program or how long he was running with WCW, but I mean,
a whole lot.
Okay, look. To me, I don't think every year there needs to be a celebrity, because if you're gonna go down that route, then you're gonna end up just hitting a wall because you ran out of celebrities, and then you're gonna say to yourself, like, you know what? Oh, you know what? That one entertainer that we had, that one time that he showed up, now you're gonna start pulling from wherever you could pull from because you just had a celebrity just happen to show up and hand over a belt one day. Because then, Pablo, you know what? Let me tell you this, man. If they force this every single year to have a celebrity get in the Hall of Fame, Pablo, that one dumbass is gonna end up getting in the Hall of Fame. The guy who what's his name? The guy that popped Cody Rhodes' ear.
Oh yeah.
What's his name? Is it Travis Scott? Is it Travis Scott? I think is his name.
Okay. I forget, man.
Okay.
I don't think it's Travis. Is it? I don't think so.
Okay. Sure. Whatever his name is that came out with The Rock. Look, at some point, if they're gonna keep on forcing every single year we have to have a celebrity, then at some point he's gonna become a Hall of Famer. Right. So only give it. It doesn't have to be. Here's where I stand on that. It doesn't have to be every year, and I don't have an issue with it. It is the entertainment business, but it doesn't have to be every single year because then you're gonna force it and give it to celebrities that really did nothing. They bought a front row ticket, and you told them, hey, they're gonna be in the front, and they're gonna end up, handing something over to another superstar, and that was it. Like, oh, you know what? That celebrity there, he's the one that handed that to, whomever, to Cody Rhodes or something like that. and next thing you know, that person gets into the Hall of Fame. You know, so as far as Dennis Rodman goes, I mean, yeah, I don't think he should be in, but yeah. Oh well, man. All right, let's actually get to some serious stuff here, Pablo. You ready to rock and roll, brother?
Sure thing.
All right, man. Let's go ahead and let's start with the one and only Bad News Brown. Now, okay. All right. Before you say anything, Paul, is he still getting inducted into the Hall of Fame? Because I just looked at the latest lineup right now, and they didn't mention him. So I don't know if anything happened or not, but he's still in, right?
Yeah, he's still in. It's kind of like one of those things, the legacy. It's called the Legacy Award.
Right.
So they're just putting him in, and you know what? I don't feel Bad News Brown deserves it at all. He won. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I dropped my little microphone thing. He was so boring, dude, when he came in. They tried to make him this big monster. He came in, he was mean, and he was just boring. I mean, he ended up winning, I think, one WrestleMania Battle Royal. But other than that, dude, he did nothing, bro. He did nothing. I mean, literally nothing, dude. And the only reason I feel, and no disrespect to him, you know, he's dead, right? So no disrespect to the guy, but I feel they're putting him in because there's a big story about Vince promising him to be the first black champion. So they're putting him in just to fulfill that they could say, hey, you know, we honored it, but Vince did it. So I think it could be a shot, you know, at Vince. I don't know. You know, it's just a thought, but that's a big thing when you bring up his name, is he was supposed to be that champion, and Vince never fulfilled his word. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. Very boring wrestler to me. He was never exciting. When he would come out, it was like restroom time, you know?
I'm glad he wasn't the first black champion, man. I mean, you had so many other great black wrestlers, man.
Yeah.
Booker T, man. But even going back to, you know, Ron Simmons and just so many others, right? I mean, heck, I watched old footage of Ernie Ladd, man. I became a fan of Ernie Ladd, you know, but just so many. Bad News Brown. Okay, here's where I stand with Bad News Brown, Pablo. Here's where I stand with him, man. And I knew you didn't like it. Me, myself, personally, I don't mind it. See, I was around to see Bad News Brown. Okay.
Yeah.
The fact that there's so many stories with Bad News Brown, and I get it, that's probably what the Hall of Fame really shouldn't be about. But the story with him and Andre the Giant.
Oh, yeah, that's a classic. Yeah.
That never goes away. The match and the rivalry that he had with the Hot Rod Roddy Piper at WrestleMania 6, like that was awesome, man. That was classic. But that's probably a little bit more towards Hot Rod than it is Bad News Brown.
Yeah, of course.
He
had his shots. He had his shots to shine, bro, but he was just too boring. He had no electricity about him, bro.
You know, he did face Hulk Hogan one time. Gosh, I remember seeing that, and I was just like, wow, okay. Now, it didn't really matter. Obviously, the Hulk show was going to win. Unless I'm wrong on that, unless I remember that wrong, but I do believe he faced him once.
Probably.
But and of course, they were treating Bad News Brown and that match as a complete jobber, but at least a notable jobber. I look, his character was okay, Pablo. I don't think he was, you know, edge of your seat type of wrestler, but you know, his name, everything, Bad News Brown, his face or features and everything like that he would, like, I'm just this mean, rugged dude from the streets, you know. I mean, I think his character, for what it's worth, and I don't even really know what it means, Pablo, that it's the Legacy Hall of Fame. Like, why do you have that for? Like, why not just Hall of Fame? I don't know. It's two different classes, I guess, but I don't have that big of an issue with it. especially looking at the class, especially looking at everybody that they've let in. But if we're gonna take it serious, should he have got in? Probably not. So I probably stand with you in the fact that maybe he shouldn't have got in. But his character wise, I remember being a little kid, just looking at him like, oh, this mean dude. But yeah, did he do anything great? I don't know. Did he ever win the Intercontinental Championship? I don't think so, man. I don't think
I don't think he won no titles in WWE. But
yeah.
he won them. He won them other places, other places like little wrestling promotions.
Okay.
But so if you're putting him in on behalf of that, but I think it's because he's a black guy and they're like he had a promise and they fulfilled it. Now they can't say that no more. They can't bring up something against WWE that they're racist because Triple H fulfilled it.
Okay. All right. And by the way, I'm look, if Vince promised them that, yeah, Vince screwed him over, right? But there's many other great black wrestlers that really deserved it over Bad News Brown. That's just the honest truth, man.
And how many other stories do we hear that Vince said this and it didn't happen? There's a lot of those stories.
Right. So, okay. So he's one that's getting in. Another one that's getting into that legacy Hall of Fame, whatever that's supposed to mean, is the one and only Sid Justice. Now, Sid Justice is actually smiling here, but his character, he was like a scary dude, man, like Psycho Sid Justice. He was just like when he would put the face on and the promos he would cut, he was just like this scary, mean dude, man. Yes. What's your thoughts on Sid Justice going in? But he's, like you said, he's going into the legacy one. What's your thoughts on Sid Justice?
Yeah, I know he's going into the legacy, but he should probably be in the legit real one, not just the legacy. Mm-hmm. And the reason is that at the time he was huge. He was big. He won the WWE Championship, I think 2 times. He won other titles. But dude, he was he was still doing okay until he broke his leg. You remember him breaking his leg?
No.
Yeah, he jumped off the top turnbuckle to go do a move on someone. Dude, his leg just snapped and went sideways, dude, just completely, and that threw his career off. Totally. It's one of those where it bends like 180 degrees, bro. And
was this at his time in the WWF or WCW?
Yes, you could Google it. You can find it pretty easy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty foul, bro. So that kind of threw his career off, but he was on top right then, bro. And I didn't care for him too much, but dude, this is what Bad News Brown was supposed to be. He was supposed to be an intimidator. He was supposed to come in and Sid at least had a little bit of electricity to him. When he was a bad guy, he had heat. People would respond. It wouldn't just be quiet, like Bad News. You can't compare them. They're 2 different dudes, dude. I know I'm bashing Bad News, but his family's happy for them. But Sid Vicious, yeah, man. He, Psycho Sid. He had so many different names, bro. But I remember him coming in. He was also, I believe, he was with the $1 Million Man. He was Shawn Michaels' bodyguard. I remember all kinds of stuff about him. So he should have been in on his own, his own accord. He has enough stuff to do that.
Yeah, I was never that big of a fan of his.
Right. No one was.
Yeah, but his character definitely worked, right? He was just this big, mean dude. His promos were kind of were pretty out there. I remember he was being interviewed one time, and then I think it was Mean Gene who was interviewing him. Somebody was interviewing him. I think it was actually with WCW, and then he tripped over his words a lot. They said cut, let's do it again. And then he's all like, Sid, we're live. I gotta find that footage somewhere, man. But that sticks out to me. Another thing that sticks out to me was WrestleMania 8. The original plan was supposed to be, that's when Ric Flair, that was in 1992. Ric Flair had won the championship, the WWE championship, because it was vacant. So the winner of the Royal Rumble became champion. And it was supposed to be Hulk Hogan versus Ric Flair, but during the house shows, they weren't getting a lot of pop, and they were putting on some very boring matches with both of their styles together facing each other. They were putting some very, very boring matches. The fans were being let down in these house shows. There wasn't any pop. So they went ahead and they switched it. And that was the first WrestleMania that they made a double main event. And it was, instead they had Macho Man versus Ric Flair. And then in the main event, in the very last match, it was the Hulkster versus Sid Justice. And Hulkster won due to disqualification because Papa Shango, just for no reason, Pablo, runs down to the ring and starts attacking the Hulkster for no reason whatsoever. Papa Shango does that. And then the Ultimate Warrior, just for no reason, just comes out and wants to help out the Hulkster. It was a pretty decent match, I guess, when it comes to two big guys, Hogan and Sid Justice. He should go in. He should go in. I think he's a lower tier. He's not, with the Hogans, with the Shawn Michaels, with the Bret Hart, with the Booker T's. He's not up there with the Eddie Guerreros. He's not on that level. I have him a little bit lower on a little lower tier. But I got no issue with it.
And you know what? We talked about this last year, I believe. However low he is, he's definitely, like you said, I agree 100%. He's not with none of those guys. But he is above the Undertaker's wife. So yes. I only bring that up because we were talking about how it gets ridiculous. The WWE Hall of Fame gets ridiculous sometimes. So, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, he's not the top, but dude, his gimmick did work. I hated him. I was never a fan, but man, afterwards he would run around with Razor Ramon a lot. With what's his name? Oh my gosh, he would run around with Conan. As is after, right. And Conan and him wanted to make a come back and do a tag team, but it never worked out. So yeah, man. So hats off to Sid, although he's passed away from lymphoma.
Yeah. Rest in peace to him. Congratulations to him. Definitely deserves it more than Taker's wife, Michelle McCool, or for that matter, or for Booker T's wife, Sharmell.
Oh gosh, that's another one.
God, that's very, very low, man. That's very low quality.
Nepotism right there, bro.
Gosh, man. All right, Pablo. All right, man. These guys finally are getting their time, man. Of course, we're talking about Axe and Smash Demolition. Pablo, talk to me, brother.
You're not gonna like it, bro.
What?
My opinion, overrated. But you know how some wrestlers you like, some you don't.
Yeah.
Right. You don't like CM Punk. I like CM Punk, but I can't take away what these guys did. Well deserved. Just because they weren't my flavor doesn't mean that they weren't great. I think they deserve it. I think that for a lot of kids growing up, they were exciting. They loved it. I remember kids in the audience trying to dress up like them sometimes too. So, to me, I mean, well deserved. I can't take nothing away from these guys.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's talk about Demolition, man. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. We got a couple more to get into, but let's hang around here.
And I'm not getting into their wannabes of other groups either. That I kept away from that.
Oh, okay. But that is, and I don't know if we should get that far into it, but that is a little bit of the criticism. Is like, oh, they're over there trying to be the Road Warriors, Legion of Doom. They're over there trying to be those guys. Look, in my opinion, Legion of Doom, much better wrestlers than Axe and Smash.
Of course.
Yes. Yes.
Not even close.
Yes. So, okay. So I'm glad Demolition's getting in. I don't have an issue with it. The fact that you brought up what you brought up, it's making me think that, okay, well, I'm not going back on me loving the fact that they're getting in. However, and your gimmick is part of wrestling, but is it, Pablo, that they are huge because of the paint on their face?
Yeah,
If they dressed differently and didn't paint their face, their in-ring ability, would that have gotten them over on its own?
definitely not.
Okay. Okay. All right. As I'm thinking about it, I think the clothing, which again, not it doesn't take. I'm not taking it away from them because all that goes into your character, right? It's not just your in-ring ability. It's you're cutting a promo. What is your gimmick? Do you paint your face? A mask, right? It's like saying like, all right, well, if we take the mask off of Rey Mysterio, would he still go in? Yeah, he still would go in, but the mask adds to him as well. Here in this case, yeah, I mean, it was a different time. For dang sure, it was a different time. You're talking about the 80s, you're talking about the early 90s. It was a completely different time. The paint, the music, the gear that they wore definitely resonated with everybody at that time, got them over. And I like their finisher move. I did enjoy. I'm trying to think off the top of my head, like, wow, how many great matches did they have? I mean, they had that match against the Hart Foundation at SummerSlam 1990, I believe it was, which is probably the match that sticks out the most to me. They lost that match. Pablo, let me go ahead and throw this at you. Should Crush be inducted there with them?
Get them all, bro.
Okay.
Get them all. And you know what? I like, man. I mean, you're spitting a lot of facts right there. And the only, a lot of times copycats don't work. How many people did they bring in to try to copy what Andre the Giant was doing? And so you brought these guys in, and for some reason it worked with the kids, it worked with the young people. So I mean, you got to give them credit. They weren't my flavor, but they were the flavor of a lot of people. A lot of people got excited when they came down the aisle, but they were copycats. But nonetheless, they're here, and they were champions. And would I have inducted them? Probably not, had I been Triple H. But what are you going to do?
Would you have inducted them in the Legacy?
Are they dead?
I think Axe, or one of them has passed away, I believe. I could be wrong on that, but
No.
I mean,
there's too many people, bro. There's too many people who deserve to be in that Legacy who aren't in there.
Well, Pablo, but they are very memorable, and maybe it is just the paint on their face and their gear, but at least at that time in that era, that was huge. Now it's maybe a little bit more of in-ring ability and promos. Now the guys like Randy Orton, those guys don't need major gimmicks. Why? Because they can kick ass, man, inside of the ring. They can cut a promo, right? They can capture the audience. But at least at that time, in that era, where it was a little bit different, and usually the bodybuilders, the humongous 6'5" plus bodybuilders, are the ones that got the big push. Painting your face and having that type of gear, yeah, it shined a spotlight on them. But at that time, at least, I think they were big. They were huge for that.
No, I agree.
Probably for that reason, but they were.
Yeah, but they wouldn't be at the top of my list. Top of my list would be like Bam Bam Bigelow, Lex Luger, Goldust, Victoria. Like them before these guys.
Hey, Victoria needs her time to shine. She definitely needs her time to shine, man. That girl,
trendsetter.
Well, yeah, definitely. Okay, but what about when it comes to tag teams, Pablo? What about if it's like, okay, we need to induct tag teams? These guys definitely stick out like I said, for that time,
Yeah.
for that era, they are memorable.
You're right.
Do they
No,
have,
you're right.
do they have great matches? Probably, I think they have some decent matches, but yeah, what sticks out more is the paint, the gear. But what about when it comes to tag teams?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, when it comes to tag teams, of course, that would be a different thing. Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay. All right. I don't have an issue with it. I know everybody's praising the fact that they're getting in. I'll praise it as well. But at the same time, I do hear what Pablo is saying. Because, yeah, when I'm thinking about tag teams, they stood out a lot because of the paint and the gear, which doesn't take away because in that era it was huge. Their in-ring performance was mediocre. I did love their finisher move. And I don't really hear anybody bringing up Crush, man. They brought him in later on in the Demolition era, but whenever anybody thinks about whenever I hear Demolition being talked about, Pablo, a lot of them bring up that match in 1990 SummerSlam. Crush was a part of that.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? I know, and I agree with you. I hear his name more than them two.
He was the big dude. He was the equalizer. It was a short period of time, but in my opinion, man, Crush. I'm not gonna say kept them relevant, but put them a little bit more on the map. They were already on the map. I don't want anybody to mistake what I'm saying. They were already on the map. But Crush, even adding him, he was younger and much bigger, even elevated them even more interest on these guys. So I think Crush should be in there as well, man.
Yep, I agree. I hope so. I hope they do. I hope they do.
Yeah.
But they're only showing their picture, right?
Yeah. I think, and by the way, Crush went on to have a singles career afterwards, and he passed away. But no, like I said, I know it was a short period of time, but I think he elevated the Demolition. So, but it's just Accent Smash getting in there. Hey, Pablo, just real quick, man, before we move on, you think Repo Man is gonna get in there?
Who?
Repo Man.
No.
Man. Okay.
What about you?
I think at some point they're gonna get him in there because once Demolition.
Well, at this rate.
Well, yeah, at this rate for sure. That's what I'm saying. Because Smash, obviously, Axe is older than Smash, and he was starting to deteriorate, which is why they brought in Crush, which I thought even elevated them even more. And once Demolition broke up, Smash goes off to have a singles career as Repo Man, and I thought his character kind of worked. He was out there like jacking cars and everything like that. It kind of worked, man. It was kind of a weird off gimmick but at that time it somewhat worked, man. And Demolition as itself I think was bigger than Repo Man, but I think Repo Man was bigger than Smash himself.
Well, speaking of Repo Man, you know who I would like to see get in since they're letting anybody in nowadays?
Who's that?
One of my favorite wrestlers to watch, bro. Back when the Rock was on top. The Hamburglar.
Oh gosh, man, I completely forgot about that guy.
Hey, but wasn't it kind of fun TV?
It was fun TV.
What
It
the
was
heck's his name?
I don't remember, man. I
green
don't.
guy, right?
Yeah. I remember it vaguely, but yeah, I do remember there was the Hamburglar. So, I hope maybe they bring in the Goblin Goober at some point.
Ooh.
All right. Yeah, they should do that. All right, Pablo, let's move on, man, because the next two, this is where it kind of gets like, okay, who's number one on here? Okay, who is, because it's usually there's the top person and then there's everybody else, right? This year, I'm kind of like, who is the top person? Okay, we'll go ahead and we'll start with the phenomenal AJ Styles, Pablo.
Oh,
Okay.
that means you put Stephanie first.
All right, Pablo. So AJ Styles just barely retired, which I've been saying it over and over and over again. I don't like that, Pablo. I don't like that somebody is still active and they retire, barely retire, or like Paul Heyman's in the Hall of Fame. He's a what? He's been in the Hall of Fame for 2 years or something, and he's still, active. But
Right.
AJ Styles, Pablo, this guy is just a wrestling Hall of Famer. Forget about he's already in the TNA Hall of Fame, but just wrestling. Forget about WWE, forget about whatever promotion. When you think about just wrestling anywhere, just around the world, globally, Pablo, this guy is just a wrestling Hall of Famer. How say you about Styles?
Yeah, AJ Styles is like kind of like Dusty Rhodes, the working man's champion. He what could you say about AJ, dude? I mean, I hate to see it. The last couple of years, he hasn't really been put on top. He was stuck with that tag team that was going nowhere. Those two guys, I forgot what their names are, and it was pretty horrible TV. They used. You know what I'm talking about?
Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson.
Yeah, man. So they were trying to use AJ to bring those guys up, but it didn't really work. But AJ, he's one of the all-time greats in my opinion. Now, when he in the last couple of years of WWE was a little boring. Is that his fault, or is that the people in the back writing? I don't know. But man, I'm reading right here, right? 2-time WWE champion, 1-time WWE Intercontinental champion, 3-time WWE United States champion, 2-time World Tag Team champion, Slammy Award winner. That's just WWE, dude.
Right.
So this guy, wow, like I know he should be first, but because I think they probably are going to put him to come on last because it's going to look like nepotism if they put Stephanie last. So I think they're going to do AJ last, but yeah. But AJ, man, one of the greats, bro.
AJ Styles has wrestled all over the world. So many different promotions. But the thing about Styles is that every main title of every promotion that he has been there, he's won it.
Yep.
He has been the main guy in every promotion globally around the world that he stepped into, man. This dude. Now, Pablo, like how you said, the last few years seemed a little bit boring and stuff. Could it be, Pablo? Because his style of wrestling, his stilo, dog, his style of wrestling, man, is more for a youth. It's more for a younger man. He's got a younger man style, right? I mean, he's not like a super duper high flyer like that, but he's got a little bit more of a younger man style. Could it be that maybe I heard an interview of with AJ Styles? He used to do one of these corkscrew jumps, flips from the top turnbuckle, and he had said, "Look, he retired that because he knew he couldn't do it anymore after messing up his neck so many times." He said, "Yeah, I can't twist my body like that up in the air anymore." Could it just be the last few years he had to put it a little bit on cruise control?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I didn't see him in Great Wars where he would end up on top. I mean, a little bit. I think he might have fit in better in AEW. He might have fit better over there, where it's straight up about wrestling. There's not so much of the backstage drama. Everything mostly happens in the ring. But yeah, I don't know, man. But what was the one over there with Kurt Angle, the wrestling promotion? Was it TNA? TNA, dude. He was awesome, bro.
Yes.
He was awesome, man. But he had a lot of dance partners. There
Yeah.
was all the WWE guys, the old WWE guys, but he was the one fighting them all. So he got to shine. And man, dude, he was like kind of like self-made, came up, he came to WWE, and now he's going to be working with the talent, looking for talent around the country. I mean, man, what better guy could you have, man? Like him and Shawn Michaels raising the future talent. That's a pretty good team right there, bro.
Yeah, you know, Styles is the one that kind of got me onto TNA, man. And we're talking about AJ Styles before he had his beard, before he had that long hair.
Right.
He was actually just kind of a clean cut, short hair kind of guy. And this guy was doing some crazy stuff. So I'm like, wow, look at this guy. And I said, one day he will be in the WWE. This guy's way too talented not to be in the WWE. And I think his career was 10 years with the WWE? Something like that.
Something like that.
Yeah, yeah. And he had a good run. He had a good run, but we never got to see him in his youth like that. We never got to see him in his 20s. Doing some of the crazy things that he did in some of these other promotions. But nonetheless, man, look, I am a fan of Styles. He definitely needs to be one of the guys mentioned just in wrestling, and just a good dude all the way around, man. I never heard anything bad about the guy either, you know. Family guy, all that stuff, man. I just what a great representation for just the entertainment business of wrestling, man. So yeah, definitely well deserved, the phenomenal one. And I like the fact, Pablo, that he retired still being able to do it. And the reason why I say that, Pablo, is because he can work with some of the youth, some of the up and coming guys. You know, I'm not talking about having matches with them on NXT or anything, but just at the Performance Center.
Yep.
You get to the Performance Center, some of these guys can't go anymore. Some of these guys are like, oh man, I'm brittle, I'm broken up. I'll just stand outside the ring and I could just tell you what to do, right? Where Styles, yeah, his wrestling days, great wrestling days are well behind him, but he's still good enough where he can still get in there. And it's like, okay, instead of me telling you, I'm going to get in there and you and I, we're going to mix it up and I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
So, yeah, definitely well deserved, man.
No one could say otherwise. I mean, I think a lot of people might judge him on these last couple of years, but I mean, even that wasn't bad. He wasn't the A side. He wasn't winning championships and stuff. But man, him being there and helping young talent get over. And one more thing, you know, before we move on, I know when I used to watch WWE back in the day, even though I didn't watch a lot of other promotions, I would still always hear AJ Styles.
Right.
Around. You would hear that name, AJ Styles, the phenomenal AJ Styles. And you would hear that everywhere. He was one. And I wonder if the next guy like that is MJF, you hear his name a lot. You know, I know he self-promotes himself, but I wonder if, no matter if you're in WWE and watch that only, you here and there you hear of MJF. So I'm wondering one day will he come and, is he the next guy like AJ, or is his attitude not going to let him, be up there in the AJ leagues,
Yeah, even when Styles was in New Japan, I still heard the name AJ Styles. When it comes to MJF, I hear his name more because his pipe bombs. Because when he grabs the mic, he's great on the mic. But I heard the name AJ Styles because of his wrestling, his in-ring.
Yes.
Where MJF, he's got a little bit more of like the Miz, which it doesn't make him a bad wrestler, but it doesn't make him a phenomenal wrestler either, like the phenomenal one. So I hear more MJF because of his mic skills.
There you go. Truth.
Yeah.
Facts. Yeah. And he's in, doing Hollywood too. So he's getting up there.
Yeah. So, hey, man, well deserved the phenomenal AJ Styles. Pablo, let's go ahead and get to the one that was first became an inductee into this year's Hall of Fame. And of course, Pablo,
Wait.
about Stephanie McMahon. Paul.
Before you go,
Yes.
are you not going to talk about the match?
What, you're talking about Styles?
No, there's a match that's getting inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Oh, yes. Okay, let's talk about the match. I didn't pull that.
Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant, WrestleMania 3 for the WWF World Heavyweight Championship.
Yes. Okay, so they barely started doing this. Was it last year that they started doing this?
Yeah, 2 or 3 years ago. I forget.
No, I think it was just last year.
You think so?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe, yeah, because
Okay.
I went to the Hall of Fame last year. There's only one match
Okay.
that's been inducted, and that was Stone Cold versus Bret Hart, WrestleMania 13, I believe it was.
Right on.
Yeah. So okay, you're right, Pablo. I completely forgot about that, man. So they're inducting. Last year they started inducting matches. Hogan versus Andre is getting inducted this year from WrestleMania 3. I don't know if they're keeping it strictly WrestleMania matches. So far, this is only the second, and both of them have been WrestleMania matches. Pablo, what's your thoughts about this match getting inducted? And should they only keep it WrestleMania matches, Pablo?
Nah. You're going to get guys like Bret Hart, man, who shined on Survivor Series and, places like that. No, they shouldn't. They shouldn't. If they do, it's cool, dude. But there's so many people shining outside of that. So many. Then they're erasing all the Survivor Series, all the Summer Slams, everything, So, but for this match, man, it's these two giants come together, man. What are you going to do? Is Andre going to put him over? It's just a great match. I mean, not a great match, but I mean, two legends, I should say, that I grew up with. So I'm happy about it.
I'm happy about it as well. Definitely, people still bring it up till this day. Of course, it's one of these things, Pablo. It's one of these things, right? Anybody and everybody can go back and watch history, but the one thing that you can't do is you can't live it. So, I'm a huge boxing fan, right? Muhammad Ali was before my era.
Right.
I have gone back and watched so much of Muhammad Ali, but I can never actually relive, Ali versus Frazier. I don't know
the feelings, the excitement, all that.
Exactly. I don't know, just, the atmosphere, just people, just the country, just everybody talking about it and being so excited. It's just me just sitting down and watching it and saying, like, because when I watch like those fights, I'm just kind of like, okay, it was a good fight. I've seen better, but the excitement, everything else that goes with it, man. So when you talk about, Hogan versus Andre, yeah, if you weren't around, you go back and you watch it, you're just probably going to be like, okay, it wasn't that great of a match. I don't think it was a terrible match either. It was, considering the size of both of these guys. Right. I thought it was pretty somewhat entertaining, but you need to be there to live it, to know who Andre the Giant was, to know who Hulk Hogan was, to know the magnitude of the match, just seeing the Giant just stand in the middle of the ring as Hogan slowly walks up to him, shaking, just shows the intensity of the guy, just shaking, right? His face as he's talking smack to Andre the Giant, and just the build, like, oh man, I can't believe this is really happening, like you can't relive that.
Yep.
So yeah, definitely. Happy that match is getting in. Pablo, what match should get in next year?
WrestleMania 1. Orndorff, Hulk Hogan against Piper, and was it Cowboy Bob? No, Mr. T.
No,
Mr. T and Mr. I'm sorry, Hogan and Mr. T.
Yeah, versus the Hot Rod and Mr. Wonderful, Paul Orndorff.
Yes. That, in my opinion, I mean that's back to basics.
Okay.
But there's so many, bro. I mean, the Undertaker's probably entitled to one here and there too. You know, how many
Undertaker.
WrestleMania moments does he have, bro?
Oh gosh, Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 25. The first time they met, that needs to get in there at some point. Gosh,
Yeah.
hands down, that match needs to get
Yeah.
in there at some point. But yeah, all right. So we're both on board, man. That Hogan versus Giant is getting in there. Should that have been the first one, Pablo? Because it's actually the second inductee that got in.
Probably should have. Yeah, probably should have, bro. But like you said, it's a more modern time, and you know, is that really going to fill seats? Is that really going to fill seats? Whereas putting Stone Cold, people are going to pay all the money in the world to go watch, him get inducted.
Right.
Bret Hart, come on, jeez.
I will say, well, look, I'll be honest. Everybody knows, man, if you don't know, Bret Hart was my favorite wrestler of all time, and that's probably never going to change. However, the magnitude of the matches, hands down, Hogan versus Giant was much bigger. I mean, just leading up to the match. Now, entertainment value and that match between Austin and Bret Hart, that was basically what made Stone Cold to go on and become the Stone Cold. He put him over that way with the blood and all that. So maybe that match later on meant more, possibly, but at the same time, Hulkamania started running wild, man. It's like, wow, he picked up the Giant and stuff. So in my opinion, Hogan Giant should have been the first match. So
Yeah.
All right, Pablo, let's move on, man. And we got Stephanie McMahon getting in. Now, there's some people that are criticizing this, Pablo. I don't have an issue. I think this is hands down, Pablo. Hands down, man. Hands down, mouth shut. He needs to be in the Hall of Fame, Pablo. How say you, man?
Oh, man, you're not going to like this one.
Gosh.
Here we go, folks. Get ready. All the allegations against Vince McMahon. Did she know? No, I'm just kidding. Of course she knew. No, but Stephanie, even if she never married Triple H, bro, she loved the business. She was there as a kid. Grew up hanging out with Andre the Giant. I mean, was just a part of so many storylines growing up. Man, remember when the Undertaker, when they crucified her or something? Forgot stuff like that. I mean, going on and on angles with Triple H, man, you can't get better than that. With the whole Vince McMahon Corporation and all that stuff. So much. Stephanie, if anybody says that she doesn't belong there, they don't know wrestling, bro, and they don't know the history of the business. They don't respect nothing about the business. Stephanie, it's like a no-brainer, man. She comes out now and she doesn't have the spice she used to. She's getting older, but man, so many good times with Stephanie, and yeah, man. So hopefully soon we'll see Shane get in, huh? Triple H gets off his hate. But yeah, dude, I agree with you, dude. It's a great choice. She should have been in there long ago.
Now, I want to make it clear, because she has some matches. If we're just talking about her wrestling career, no, then she shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. Okay, but her contribution, her character, overall, her in the business, 1,000%, man.
Hey, I even like some of her matches, bro.
So do I. So she was in a match. Look, gosh, what was it? WrestleMania 30. I forgot which
Ronda.
one.
That was pretty good.
That was a really, really good match, man. For what it was supposed to be, it was Triple H teaming up with his wife Stephanie McMahon, going up against Kurt Angle, who was already, well past his prime. Kurt Angle,
right. Yep.
Teaming up with Ronda Rousey. That match, I thought was leading up to it, Pablo. I thought it was one of the dumbest things. I thought, man, this is stupid. This is lame. I really thought like, okay, this is a match. Get up and go to the restroom. Pablo, that turned out to be one of the most entertaining matches of the night, man. I was like, damn, that sucker was so damn good. I loved it. Her character, just the way she would make her face expressions when she was this good little girl, Pablo. She was this good little girl, and she was gonna marry Test, and everything was gonna be hunky dory. And then, oh man, here comes Triple H, and he actually married her while she was intoxicated in one of those Las Vegas drive-through places. And then the whole match comes, right? The whole match, everything, it was so damn good, Pablo. Her betrayal and her actually showing that she was teamed up with Triple H all along, Pablo, that was such a bombshell, brother. That was because Vince was bloodied up in the corner, and she's looking like she's gonna tend to her dad. She turns to Triple H like, I can't believe what you did. And then she smiles. Triple H goes like, come to daddy, sweetheart. She runs and she jumps in his arms. Pablo, it was so good, man. It was so good. And not just that, but so many other things from her.
I'm glad you brought that up, bro. That the wedding was one of the best parts in WWE ever, bro.
It was awesome. From her character of being the innocent little girl that was getting bullied by the Undertaker and the mystery of darkness. She was gonna get crucified and all that, to her turning heel. And man, she definitely deserves it. It's not just because she's Vince's daughter. Now, did she get all those opportunities because she's Vince's daughter, because she's a McMahon? Of course. Absolutely. She did get all those opportunities. So did Shane. Shane got all those opportunities because he's a McMahon. But both of those kids, damn, Pablo, both of those kids put in the work, man. You think about billionaire corporations that have kids that don't put in the work. These two definitely put in the work, hands down. Shane should get there at some point, but that's up to Paul Levesque, man. Stephanie, hey man, is it favoritism? It's favoritism, the fact that she got the opportunity, yes, but she got that opportunity and she did the most with it. Hands down, she earned her spot in the Hall of Fame.
Big time. Both the kids earned it.
Yes,
the kids earned it, bro. And man, dude, we have so many memorable moments. Do you remember when Stone Cold came out and he stunned the whole McMahon family, including Miss McMahon and Stephanie?
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
You know what's crazy, Pablo? You know what's crazy? Stephanie McMahon is the reason why John Cena got another shot. I'm sure people have heard the story that they were all on a bus. John Cena, this is before Word Life. This is before the Doctor of Thugonomics. Actually, that's right. That's how he became the Doctor of Thugonomics, because of Stephanie, because they were all on a bus. They were getting ready to fire him because he was the prototype and it wasn't working, right? And he was in the back of the bus with Rey Mysterio and a couple of other guys, I forgot whom, and they were just kind of freestyling. And Stephanie kind of picked up on that. And when they got off the bus, she called John Cena over. She's like, hey, wait, come here. I heard you over there, kind of freestyling. Is that just a skill of yours, or do you have to rehearse that stuff? He's all like, no, it's just, I just shoot from the hip. I'm good to go. And then she said she was holding a yogurt. She was eating it. She's all like, okay, let's see freestyle about my yogurt and the bus ride. And he busted out a freestyle. And then she took it to Vince and said, we can do something with this. And that's how he became the Doctor of Thugonomics, man.
Wow. That's cool.
So, hey, man, Stephanie has contributed so much to the business. Business.
Do you remember Jericho used to rip on her?
Yes. Jericho came out and put the two pictures side by side of her before the breast implants and then after the breast implants. Pablo, it was crazy, man. It was good. But Pablo, let me ask you this before we wrap it up. Who should be the last to go up on the podium? Stephanie, or Styles?
It should be Stephanie, but it will be Styles.
But it will be Styles.
It will
Okay.
be Styles. It should be Stephanie because Stephanie, man, all these years she has been right at Vince's side, bro, bringing us all these great memories that we have, bro. And up until Vince had to step down, she was there. So all these good memories, bro. She was there. She was working hard. She would fill in for Pops. Man, yeah, she should be. But because of optics, can you imagine what Triple H is going to hear if he puts her last? He's never going to live it down. He's never going to live it down. So he will. And I think Stephanie is wise enough too. Well, she will step aside and say, "Go do AJ last." I think so. Now AJ last is not the more exciting of the two. I think he's going to do a good speech. But if you want to leave on a high, put Stephanie up there, man. Put Stephanie up there and let her speak for a while, dude. And I want to see what happens. Like, she brings up her Pops, thank you, Dad, or whatever, It'd be interesting.
Okay. I will say this. If we're talking about just rest, I'm not sure if there's really a wrong or right answer here. I think the ones that hate the McMahons or something, they're definitely gonna say AJ Styles, right? I would say this: who's more entertaining? Oh, definitely Stephanie.
Yes.
AJ, his in-ring ability, what he just meant to wrestling overall globally, his accomplishments. This guy has done it with his in-ring ability. He's not the best cutting promos. He's not bad either. He's pretty decent cutting promos and everything.
Yeah.
But his in-ring ability, that's why I said, when you think about just one of the greatest wrestlers, right? Just in-ring wrestlers. Dude,
yeah.
Styles is there, man.
He's up there with Shawn, Angle, all those guys.
Yes. Randy Orton's going to be up there as well, man. But yeah, when it comes to the business of WWE, I mean, come on, man. Stephanie, she never left. She learned the business. She done so much. I think it'd be more entertaining putting Stephanie, but I'm with you, Pablo. I think probably, especially because of all the heat that Triple H got for getting into the Hall of Fame. Like, I'm like, wait, why are people complaining? Like, oh, he's overhyped, he's overrated. He only got it.
No.
Stephanie. It's like, okay, look, maybe he got all those opportunities and all that stuff, but nonetheless, he was still one of the best characters. He's one of the best heels of all time, man. I'm not saying he's the best heel, but he's one of the best heels of all time. So I think for that reason, they will go with AJ.
Yeah, they have to, dude. I think the fans might rebel. I think the fans might rebel. Triple H right now is getting so much hate, bro. All over. I think he has to. I think they will. Man, but Stephanie, man, dude, just all the good times, man. What could you say, dude? Great. One of the greats, man. One of the greats. The McMahon family has gave us so much goodness, so many good memories, bro.
Yeah, definitely, man. All right, Pablo. Well, that will wrap it up, man. And next week, they will be getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. They still got it, the same, man. It's going to be after SmackDown. I did it last year. It was a little bit of a hustle. Now, they're not doing it at the Blue Fountain. I forgot where they're doing it. They're doing it somewhere else now.
Are you going?
No.
You're not going to Mania?
No. Not this time, man. Not this time.
25% off, bro.
For night one. For night one. Paul McAfee made that clear for night one. But all right, man. You guys let us know what's your thoughts on this year's Hall of Fame inductees. And congratulations to them all. Pablo, gracias for your time, brother. This was fun, man. All right. Well, we'll catch you guys on the next one. You guys be good.